很多人最近都有一个疑问，伊朗战争已经打了20多天了，中国到底怎么看？你如果去看新闻，会发现一个很奇怪的现象，中国好像什么都说了，但又好像什么都没说。
各位记者朋友，大家下午好，欢迎出席外交部例行记者会，请大家提问。中国始终践行人类命运共同体理念，秉持国际主义和人道主义精神。当前的战事对伊朗等地区国家的人民造成了深重的人道主义灾难，中方对此表示同情，向相关国家的人民表示慰问。
一方面，中国反复强调要停火、要对话、要尊重主权，但另一方面，中国又没有像西方国家那样明确站在某一方。那问题就来了，中国到底是中立还是其实已经选边站了？如果你只停留在新闻的表面，你会觉得中国是在打太极，但如果你把所有公开信息综合在一起，就会立刻发现中国其实讲得非常清楚，只是方式完全不同。大家好，我是西蜀云鹤。我们先看最核心的一层，在两会记者会上，王毅讲了一句话，这场战争本不应该发生。
这是一场本不应该发生的战争，也是一场对各方都没有好处的战争。中东的历史已经反复告诉世人，武力不是解决问题的办法，兵戎相见只会增添新的仇恨，酝酿新的危机。中方愿再次呼吁，立即停止军事行动，防止局势轮番升级，避免战火外溢蔓延。拳头硬不等于道理硬，世界不能退回丛林法则，动辄使用武力并不能证明自己的强大，民众不能成为战争的无辜牺牲品。
这句话其实已经定性了，什么意思？不是简单反战，而是在说这场战争从源头上就是不合理的。这是中国对外最核心的定性，不站队战争本身，但反对美以军事行动，强调降级与谈判。接下来，中国外交系统的所有表态其实都围绕3个关键词展开：第一，反对战争升级；第二，反对侵犯主权；第三，必须通过谈判解决。听起来很中性，对吧？其实真正关键的不是说了什么，而是没说什么。中国没有谴责伊朗，也没有支持美国或以色列的军事行动，这就意味着中国在逻辑上其实已经否定了这场战争的正当性来源。但中国为什么不直接说？因为中国的表达方式和西方完全不同。西方是先选边再讲道理，而中国是先讲原则，让你自己对号入座。你只要接受反对战争、尊重主权这2条原则，那谁在主动发动打击，其实答案就已经出来了。这就是中国的第一层逻辑，不点名但完成定性。但这还不是最关键的，真正决定中国态度的是第2层，即国家利益。你去看中国的智库，比如中国现代国际关系研究院，还有中国国际问题研究院，他们的分析其实非常一致。他们真正关心的不是谁对谁错，而是3个更现实的问题。第一，这场战争会不会失控？第二，霍尔木兹海峡会不会被封锁？第三，全球能源价格会不会暴涨？因为一旦霍尔木兹海峡出问题，影响的不只是中东，而是整个世界。而中国是全球最大的能源进口国之一。换句话说，中国的核心目标不是谁赢谁输，而是别让局势失控。这也是为什么中国的所有表态看起来都很克制，不是因为没有立场，而是因为立场太现实。但你如果再往下看，还有第3层，那就是中国学界和舆论场。比如金灿荣、张伟伟这些人。
成都一个主持人和上海一个主持人共同主持个节目，那个上海的主持人说：“哎，你用最简单的这个方式介绍一下成都。”哎呀，他说我介绍的方法太多了。上海主持人就随便说一个吧。他说你在街上叫一声“美女”，美女，所有女孩子都回头。
他们在公开演讲里其实讲得更直接。
今年以来，美国变成一个赤裸裸的流氓超级大国，对吧？
他们会告诉你，这场战争本质上不是伊朗问题，而是美国在中东战略的一部分，是控制能源，是维持影响力，是地缘政治博弈。换句话说，官方讲的是原则，学者讲的是本质。将这2层综合起来，你就能看懂中国真正的态度。表面上，中国在说我们反对战争，但深层逻辑其实是我们反对的是一种规则， 用武力改变秩序，因为一旦这个规则被打破，下一个被用同样方式对待的可能就是任何一个其他国家，包括中国自己。所以你现在再回头看中国的态度，就会发现它其实非常一致，既没有支持伊朗，也没有支持美国，但他在反对一件更大的事情，就是一个越来越依赖武力解决问题的世界。最后你会发现，中国真正做的不是选边站，而是在试图守住一条底线。一条什么底线？就是这个世界还能不能继续用规则，而不是用导弹来运行。好，如果你也对这些话题感兴趣，欢迎点赞、订阅这个频道，我们下期继续。
Mr. President of the session, Madam President of the General Assembly, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. We mark the International Day to combat Islamophobia as the world approaches the end of the holy months of Ramadan. This is a time devoted to solidarity and compassion, a time to reach out, especially to those in need. And today, many communities are hurting. Conflict and instability are raging around the world, affecting countless people, but including many Muslims. Civilians are suffering, lives are being lost, families are being torn apart, and far beyond the front lines, millions of Muslims around the world carry that pain with them, worrying about loved ones, watching the news with dread, and wondering what tomorrow will bring for their communities and their future. Against this backdrop, our commitment to dignity, equality, and human rights has never been more urgent. The world's nearly 2 billion Muslims come from every corner of the globe. They are citizens, many are migrants, women and men, young people full of hope, and elders full of wisdom. Their cultures, languages, and traditions reflect the extraordinary diversity of humanity itself. Yet, for far too many Muslims, daily life can be shaped by exclusion. We are facing a rising tide of anti-Muslim bigotry and hate. The bias can be overt: institutional discrimination, social economic marginalization, sweeping immigration restrictions, and unwarranted surveillance and profiling. But the bias can also be subtle, in opportunities quietly denied, assumptions left unchallenged, questions weighted down by suspicion. These everyday experiences rarely make the headlines of statistics, but over time, they shape lives, erode trust, and send a clear message about who's seen as belonging and who is not. These realities are driven and dangerously amplified by anti-Muslim rhetoric, misinformation, and outright hate. When discriminatory narratives are echoed by those in positions of authority, prejudice becomes normalized. When stereotypes are left unchallenged, they harden into policy. And when fear is allowed to guide decision-making, injustice follows. Online and offline, toxic narratives portray entire communities through the lens of hostility and blame. And the consequences are painful, real: harassment and intimidation, vandalism and threats, attacks on individuals and on mosques. This is an assault on Muslims, and it is an assault on the values that underpin peaceful, inclusive societies everywhere. Governments have a clear responsibility. Laws and policies must safeguard equality, not entrench prejudice. Security measures must protect people and respect human rights, not stigmatize entire communities. Technology companies have a responsibility. Online spaces should bring people together, not drive them apart. They must do far more to identify, prevent, and address hate speech and harassment. And all of us have a responsibility too. We must speak out clearly and consistently against bigotry, xenophobia, and discrimination wherever they appear. Silence in the face of hatred only allows it to spread. Real change requires sustained political will, inclusive leadership, and a commitment to listen to all voices across diverse communities. This is why I appointed the High Representative for the United Nations Alliance of Civilizations as the UN Special Envoy to combat Islamophobia. This will strengthen coordination, deepen partnerships, and enhance our collective response. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as Ramadan draws to a close, Muslims around the world reaffirm values that also form the foundation of the UN Charter. Empathy for the vulnerable, generosity towards neighbors, and responsibility towards the wider community. These universal principles must guide our global response to hatred and division. On this International Day to combat Islamophobia, let us recommit to the equality, human rights and dignity of every person, everywhere. Let us reject the narratives of fear and exclusion, and let us work together to eradicate the rising tide of anti-Muslim hatred and bigotry and build a world rooted in respect, inclusion, justice and peace. Ramadan Kareem, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary General.